Lady and a man named Brady raised 6 very lovely kids in front of millions of Americans, and deep down, I think a lot of us wondered what went on behind the scenes. Well, one of those Bradys has finally given us much more than a hunch about all of that in this new tell-all. I love that term, tell-all book called Growing Up Brady. Please welcome actor turned author Barry Wiiliams. Greg Brady.
Out of the box. Hey, let me out of the box. Let me out, let me out, let me out, let me out, let me out. It is nice to get out of the box.
Once in a while, anyway. Well, congratulations, man. Everybody's talking about this book these days.
Good, good. I had a lot of fun writing it.
Yeah.
It was like going all the way back through my childhood. For me, watching that show is like watching home movies.
Really?
But mostly, I just knew what was going on from behind the scenes. Because I hadn't watched the show a lot. I had to go back and watch all the episodes to write the book.
To jog the memory and that kind of thing?
No, I knew it from the other side. I just never watched a lot of them.
Was there one that was a favorite of yours?
Well, the favorite one to film was for sure Hawaii.
Yeah.
Because we went to Hawaii. And I got to do all
you
that
found that
surfing,
little doll.
And I had that great tiki, you know, that was happening for a while.
Of course.
I'm glad I lost that, though. It was bringing us bad luck for a while.
Yeah.
And I got locked, you know, trapped in the cave with Vincent Price. That was fun. But my favorite one to watch is I think, Johnny Bravo. You know, where I had the fringe jacket,
Yeah.
you know, rock and roll.
Yeah,
Then I found out I got the job because I fit the suit.
I love the one. I love the one where you move into the office. You get your own room and you like did it up with the beaded curtains and everything. Do you remember that?
And the headbands and the sunglasses.
Sure.
Shades. I mean, shades.
Shades, of course. Now, about 80% of the press so far on this, as you know, has focused on revelations in the book. But there's a lot more to it, right? There's a
Well,
lot
I
more
think
to it.
so, yeah. I mean,
Absolutely.
that's about 4 pages. Well, like
Right.
a couple chapters. The thing was, it seems strange because if you've only watched just like relating as brother and sister or as mother and son, then you're like, God, the idea of going out on a date or actually like holding hands or something would be really strange. But when the camera stopped rolling, we knew that we were just playing roles. Yeah. And we were our own best friends. We're all we really had. We were working all the time on the set, and I don't think it's any great surprise or shock to anyone that Maureen McCormick was a very pretty girl, and so was Eve Plum and Susan Olsen. So we all hooked up at one point or another.
How old were you when you started the show?
14. Wow. 14.
How
about 3 years ago.
How have they been about the book? Have they all been, you know, very, you know, positive about their responsibility?
Yeah, I
Are you in
think
touch
so.
with most of those guys?
All
or?
of them, because they kind of helped me with it. I sat down, we sat down and had dinner or lunch or with a microphone, and we kind of went through all the stories together so I could tell it from their point of view as well as my point of view, and we had to, like, you know, make sure that our stories were the same, because it was, you know, we're going back 15 years, 20 years.
Yeah.
I read recently, I think it was you or maybe it was one of the other cast members who said that when you're so identified with a show like that, you go through a period after it's over of wanting to distance yourself into it and really have kind of more of an affection for it. Is that?
Yeah, it's easier for me to talk about it now than it was like right when we went
Right.
off, because, you know, for a while it was not cool to be a Brady.
Right.
Because like in the late
But it
70s.
was cool for us because we were 6 years old.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And then there's a while too where it kind of like interferes with your chance to get more jobs, and you want to keep working if you're an actor.
That must have been hard.
And you know, I didn't want to retire when I was 20 years old.
Right.
I wanted, you know, I thought that was going to be the start, and all of a sudden people were saying, well, he's too Greg Brady-like.
Right.
Sure. Right.
How did you deal with problems? I mean, you know, with most child stars, they get incredibly
We hear
messed
a lot
up.
about that, don't we?
Right.
Well, especially happened a lot later, but I mean, but back then, I mean, how did you guys? Because you guys all came out pretty unscathed.
Yeah, we came out all right. Well, first of all, we had each other to keep ourselves in line. You know, if somebody started getting too stuck up or too out of hand, then, you know, we'd come by and, you know, bop them upside the head and say, hey, wait a minute, we know what you're going through, too.
Well, a lot of drugs, too, at that time, so that must have been tricky.
Well, we were pretty
Young,
much before that,
Yeah.
you know. I mean, we're pretty young for most of that stuff.
I had Susan Olsen on the phone a couple weeks ago, just a couple days after Robert passed away, and I'm just curious because that was actually before all of these, after the fact, revelations came out about his health and everything. I'm curious how you feel about that and the necessity of the media, you know, making an issue out of that.
Well, you certainly wouldn't want to. Here's a very respected, very talented man who I had a great friendship with and learned a lot from. He was a great role model for me. And you don't want to focus on some sort of negative or side of his personality. And it's easy to change the whole complexion of who someone really is and what they're about by kind of tabloid type of journalism.
Right.
I think the point is he was great with us kids, and even though he had his problems with the show, and I talk a lot about that in the book, he really loved the Brady cast, and we learned a lot from him as actors and as friend.
talented guy. Now, you're,
Yeah.
you're mainly working in theater these days, right?
I've been doing that for a long time now.
Right.
I lived here in New York for a while, and right now I'm out on the road doing the show City of Angels.
Oh,
I'm
cool.
playing a Detective Stone, kind of a Philip Marlowe, Sam Spade kind of guy.
Perfect. That's
And
fun.
the show is just wonderful. I have a great company, and we've been traveling all over the country. Right now we're in Cleveland, and we're off to Washington, D.C., where we'll be all summer. I just came from Chicago and on our way to Boston, so it's been great. Yeah,
And you're still alive in syndication.
yeah,
You will
forever
never,
and
you'll
ever
never
and ever.
die.
Into it.
Yeah.
Oh,
coming
these guys
by.
are into it,
Hey,
too. Yeah.
Thanks. Thanks.
Thanks
Nice
a lot,
being
man.
here.
Good luck with the book, with
Right.
the tour and everything else, all right? Thanks a lot.
All right. Hey,
I'm going to let him do the
yeah,
honors here.
you want to introduce the next video?
Oh, absolutely. Continuing today's Madonna-rama, here's the Material Girl herself with Borderline.
All right.